Join me in welcoming Tonya Jones. Hey, Tonya, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, thanks. So
Awesome.
your book, so exciting. It's called My First Day of School. But first, tell us just a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Well, I started writing when I was 14 years old. Since then, I have written a novel, a romance novel, adult romance novel. And then this children's story that we're discussing today, I wrote when I was in the eighth grade. And I'm just now getting a chance to publish it. But basically, my background, journalism is my major and, was my graduate degree. And my goal is to educate children and make everyone feel inclusive in the world, even people who have handicaps, who, have slow learning abilities, and who just don't really feel like they fit in. A lot of times, we don't understand that everyone feels like they want to be included, but then everyone wants to be individualized. So, just wanted to bring something together to so that the kids can feel like no matter what they're going through, whatever their experience is in life, everyone shares the same fears and the same goals.
And again, my first day of school, it starts off with I still remember my first day of school. Do you still remember your first day of school?
I do.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. It was pretty much a description of what I wrote in the book. But yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know that I remember my first day of school. I remember my youngest son's first day of school. That
Oh,
was very
wow.
traumatic for me because then I, had no one at home. But that's a whole different story. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole different book.
Yeah.
So, what kind of things do we learn in my first day of school?
We learn everything from just the basics of step by step what usually occurs in the classroom. That other kids will pick at you and misbehave, but you know the solution is just to keep your focus and get the lesson that you came to get, and go home and continue your life. Um, a lot of kids think that when they start school, that's their whole entire world, but in the book, it also shows you go here, you do this for these many hours, and then you go home and you continue your life. So nothing's really going to change drastically, just a little lesson involved and having to deal with some bully kids. That's about it.
And the mom character, at least at the beginning of the book, is pretty integral to that. I really loved the way you handled that mom character.
Thank you.
Now, is that based off of your mom too?
It is, yeah. Being a girl born and raised on a farm, you really didn't leave your land for much of anything because you have everything you need, food and animals. And it's very scary to leave to start school and then to commit to that daily on a daily routine. Yeah, to get out of your normal surroundings for any kid, I'm sure, whether they're on a farm or in the city, I'm sure it's a big thing. So.
So we get to school, we start meeting all of these new people, um, and it's filled with cool experiences and really scary ones too.
Yes.
Um, what, and this is totally not a fair question, but what's kind of your favorite part of the book?
My favorite part was reading time. As you see, being a writer, I like to read. And in school, they would call it DEAR when I was in school, drop everything and read. And that was more of a calming time for the kids that wanted to go take a nap. They could do that during reading time because usually nap time was right after. So my favorite part was reading time when everyone calmed down and, you know, um, everything just got a little more leveled out.
It's really cool, because some kids are just into books. Like from the first time they see a book, it's like the book becomes their best friend. And other kids, they kind of go kicking and screaming into the reading world. Um,
Mhm.
Obviously, you must have been one of those kids that just loved books from day one.
I did because, as I said, being born and raised in the country, you really don't have a lot to do. You can go outside and play with the animals, but that's about it. And you're usually 5 to 10 acres away from the next house. So reading became my best friend.
Did you have, whether it's your very first book or that book that you really remember, that book that you just carry around until it disintegrates, kind of? Did you have that book for you?
Well, it depends on what age.
Well, I
I have
was I was
several.
thinking that early first book.
Early first book, I'm trying to think what that would have been. Oh, I remember the Bernstein Bears. That entire episode or volume series, that every one of them I loved them.
Did you get the? Well, you don't have kids yet, so you don't have kids, do you?
I do. She's grown.
Oh, oh,
I have
okay.
a
For
26
some,
year old, well, 25-year-old.
did you get a chance to share that book with her when she was little?
The one that I have now are the Bernstein Bears.
The Bernstein Bears.
Every last one of them. Every last. They were my favorite to read to her. She
Mm.
loved them. And another reason too, I like Dr. Seuss. Everybody likes Dr. Seuss, but I'm big on jingles. I love children's stories that rhyme because I think that it allows the child to tap into their imagination and wonder what word will she match with this one and where is this going ahead of time. So I'm a big jingles fan.
And the book does such a great job of this. When I was looking at categories and writing the description and that kind of thing, I was struck with the concept of, it is an early reader. It is very easy to read. It's got pictures in it. So, even a non-reader, or we call them early readers these days, but the ones that don't really know how to read, all the way up to you're probably even into second and third grade, it can still be a book that really can appeal to a person.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that outside of the age group for going for first time schoolers, I'm hoping that people will really read it not just for that purpose, but also for the purpose of learning to write in rhymes, because I think that that can open up children, to a whole different world of marketing. They may find that they're truly a very good writer and they could do jingles and commercials and things like that. But without being introduced to it, you wouldn't know that that's something that you could do. So,
Absolutely. So, what is your hope for the book? I mean, let's dream big for a minute. What would you like to see happen with the book?
I would like to see a volume series, Betty Sue Adventures. The main character in the book, her name is Betty Sue. And the next book that I will be publishing is How Betty Sue Learned to Tie Her Shoe. So, and then after that, summer is better than winter. But I'll make sure that I explain the things that are great about winter. It's just summer is my best season. So ideally, I would like to have a volume series of different adventures that Betty Sue experiences, just learning about the world and growing and overcoming her fears. Another thing also in the book, I will have people of different nationalities, of different disabilities, and I plan to make them the main character in each book. Of course, Betty Sue being the main character, but then she'll, focus on other characters as well, because I wanted it's more of a volume series for inclusiveness, for making everyone feel like they belong in some type of way in this world. Because I find children, they feel like if they're not the most popular kid, then they mean nothing. And that's not necessarily the case.
I love it. I look forward to it so much. It's so much fun to watch the story develop, and then see the words come into picture. I know we've had a lot of fun working on it, and
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been so honored to be a part of it. So let's talk for a minute to the moms, because let's face it, mom's going to be the one buying the book, not the little kid usually.
Right.
What can you as a mom know that you're getting to your child with this book?
Well, you're giving them an experience, knowledge, and as to how to handle certain things that you'll encounter on your first day of school. The experience of not only how to handle it, but also how to relay it to other people. When they say, "Hey, how was school for you?" Well, we did this, we did that, and the reason why we did it was because. So it's just really to ease fears, ease anxiety. I think children have a lot of fears and anxiety that they constantly have to overcome. So it's more of a softening to help them enter into the world of becoming independent outside of their household and their parents.
I love that. And the book is available on Amazon today. In fact, let me, I mean, it'll be available on Amazon always, but it's available for free on Amazon today. So I'm going to put that link in here. What are some other things you'd like to say to us about your book?
That's about it. If you have any ideas that you would like for your child to learn about, and think that I would be a great person to put it in a nice way to relay that information, then feel free to go onto my website at tonyalachey.com and go on to the link where you can suggest a question or join our mailing list or even send me an email or message and give me any ideas that you would like to see written in a book. I'm very diverse. I write anything, like I said, from romance novels to children's stories, and I'm also working on an herbal cookbook right now. So I can talk about different things, but if you find that there's a subject that is imperative for the kids to know about and that you would like for your child to learn, feel free to suggest, and also maybe even tag their name, and I could use them as a character. And you could tell them, "Sweetie, look, she wrote about you." So I'm open for that. Feel free to go onto the site again, tonyalachey.com.
And spell Lachey for us, just so that we know.
First name Tonya, Tonya, Lachey, LACHEY.com.
Perfect. I love it. Well, Tonya, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.